So if it is 1 or 2% of your capital, so how much is the capital? And why would anybody deploy 20, 30 crores capital in FNO trading? What for? FNO trading max 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore. So if she's around, we will like to hear how she lost. Anyway, good evening, everybody. It's been a very short expiry. Last expiry was at 16,930. Touched 18,000 odd. And today it settled at 17,522. There were 17 working days in this expiry. In the next expiry, there are 24 working days. Having said that, I scalp a lot, I trade a lot to kill time. One thing I observed, there is no liquidity. Zero butta zero liquidity. So anybody playing in this market with the large numbers, say 10, 20 lots, is screwed up. Without knowing anything, I would say he's screwed up. Again, a request, please don't play big, play small, small. This is not the time and the place to play big. Sooner or later, the way Nifty is behaving, it's very bad. Very, very, very bad. Some of the chartists who are bullish who draw arrows and all that, but that's nonsense, यार. 17 महीना पहले 12,000 था, उसके नीचे जाएगा निफ्टी. 8 स्टॉक से ऊपर लेके जाता है, खत्म हो जाएगा. Another thing I observed is in Nifty, all the tech stocks, all the tech stocks are so pathetically placed. People are saying they will be oversold and then they will bounce up. There is no selling only. So where is the question of bingo? I won't be surprised if it goes down by 30, 40, 50, 60%. What is there in technology? Nothing. Manpower hiring, nothing else. So this is going to take time. Don't ridicule me and write troll that I said TCS will be down by so many percent. It will happen. Have patience. You should learn how to screw up your money. You are free to hold any share you want. I don't care. But it is at the cost of your family and all that. This holding on shares, come what may, is a stupid idea. Hero Honda, 13 years, it is the same rate. What is the point of holding? Okay, you might have got dividend, but so what? Okay, we'll take some questions right away. Yeah, Dr. Srinivasan, tell me.
शरद जी, बहुत दिन के बाद आपसे बात करने का मौका मिला. थैंक यू.
Yes.
और ये बताइए, लाइक आप तो रोज लाइक बियरिश प्रेडिक्शंस देते हो, तो लाइक कभी
नहीं
कभार लाइक
नहीं नहीं नहीं, सुनिए सुनिए. By nature, this market is bearish. Okay. It's not that I am bearish. The market is bearish. It is only in India that it is so bullish, but eventually it will be bearish. Yeah, go ahead, doctor.
ठीक है, मैं सिर्फ ये पूछना चाहता हूँ आपके हिसाब से व्हाट इज अ बुलिश मार्केट एंड व्हाट इज अ बेयरिश मार्केट, बस
12,000 आएगा.
A bullish market is one where there is a growth of 10%, 12% every year in stocks, not every day. That is a casino.
Sir, so when you say growth, you are saying about the company's real growth in profits, or you are only saying about the price?
No, about the growth, company's growth. Now
Like,
onwards, it's non-existent. It's not there. So you can keep on trying, but they won't go anywhere. HDFC Bank, कितना time हो गया? उधर का उधर ही है, sir. So it's a mirage that stocks go up, but in fact, over a period of time, they just are languishing where they are. Yes, doctor.
yeah, I get your point. I just wanted to, get your perspective regarding this. So,
And
in this market, fear, if this fact is so obvious, why are people gambling every day?
how would I know? I can't stop them with a gun. And I am also gambling. But see, having said this, there are plenty of stocks which are good. Buy them, you will make money 5 times, 10 times, or 20 times. Don't go in for this financials and all that. They are crap. Nonsense there.
Okay, sir. So you are suggesting not to go for the common names, but you have to, do your research and buy some good companies.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. That is a very good advice. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Ramchandran bhai boliye.
Sir, had a small doubt, sir. In moneycontrol.com, most such scripts is there, no, sir. From 25 days onwards, SBank is there, sir. Is there any manipulation, sir? SBank is a penny script, but it's showing from last 25 days onwards, most active such script by all people.
ये क्या बोला विषय?
नहीं सर, नहीं सर.
नहीं समझ कुछ सुना क्या?
In moneycontrol.com, such list is there, no, sir, but to such scripts. In that, most people such scripts, 5 scripts will be displayed top. In that,
रोहित भाई.
last from 25 days, SBank share
रोहित
is
सर
there,
आइए
sir.
ना.
It's any manipulating to the people, sir? They are manipulating.
No. Nobody is manipulating.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I love your shows, sir. Thank you very much for connecting and inspiring us, sir. You are
Yes.
making to make two sides of coin, sir. Previously, I look only one side, but my opinion and views are changed. Sir,
What?
one thing, sir. The fact finder guy is there, no, sir. Please make him to make a special show from your end, sir.
Okay, definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. रोहित भाई आइए. रोहित भाई.
Hello.
हाँ बोलिए सर.
Good evening.
Good
No,
evening.
it was. I actually saw your headline. It was interesting to read somebody losing 50 lakh for something by putting 80,000. What was that story?
Yeah. Sorry.
So no, yeah, that really interested me. What do people end up doing? To lose 60 lakhs by putting up 80,000.
No. 80,000 was my figure. No, it's so stupid that a young girl can lose 60 lakhs. So it's a lot of hogwash, and I felt like making a joke out of it.
Okay.
But see, anyway, if you have a capital of 5 crores also, you cannot do 60 lakhs. If you write options, the margin is so much.
Yeah.
Where will you have the capital?
Yes, actually, that was also the first thing that came to my mind. That in today's market, if you are, unless you are in Dabba, the margins that SEBI is putting everywhere, it ensures that you cannot get yourself in such a situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was why it was interesting. But coming to the market, uh, I was just thinking about, because some of the questions are investment based. I understand, like you were saying earlier, key people can be invested in the long term in particular stocks, which is not finding those particular stocks is where people find greatest difficulty, because it requires a very bottom up approach to find few companies that can also do well in a bear market, as I will call it. Because bear markets are such that they end up even hurting companies that are growing in earnings, because bear markets are created by either excessive leverage or excessive liquidity, and when that unwinds, even growing companies see their valuations come down to levels that sometimes are hard to believe. And we haven't been down that lane in quite a while, which is why most people have stopped expecting you can ever get low valuations, and therefore they are always looking for buying at higher valuation. So this is a new mindset that has happened because of the low interest rate environment around the world. And so we say if earnings are growing, then you bet on the company. It doesn't matter what is the valuation. But when a valuation correction happens, which is part of what the US correction was all about when it started in January, then it doesn't really look at what is happening on the earnings side. And it's driven more by either unwinding of credit or unwinding of liquidity. In India, probably apart from the 1990s, we don't have a very good example of that, where, over several years, tightening conditions led to valuations which were very, very low. We haven't seen that kind of, even companies that were growing 30% earnings every year were trading at 3 times and 4 times. So that is a completely different situation. But even in that sense, today in a rising rate environment, and anybody who understands value and market can comment on this, I would want to know that how they really consider valuations in an environment where monetary policy is tightening, either through rates or through the amount of money, not just in the US, but in multiple countries around the world, there's a tightening environment. And so that's basically global liquidity tightening all over. And in that context, how they look at valuations and say that, this is cheap or this is expensive.
Yeah. So if I need to interject in this, for me, sorry, any particular script, 2 times sales is the max. I won't pay more than that. I won't pay 10, 15 P, not more than that. That is the real market. If you are to buy at inflated price, then what is the point? If you are buying HDFC at such ridiculous rates, what will you earn? If you buy HDFC Bank at 30p, so you mean to say you will wait for 30 years to earn back? No way. There are too many examples where you can put your money now also, and they will grow multifold. And I am a lover of MNCs, screener, MNC, engineering. and industrial, you will get the results. Just go and buy. Nothing, don't do. Because they will never dilute their holding. In almost all the companies, their equity is 75%. So suppose if you take, for example, Siemens, the market cap is 1 lakh crore. Oh, too much. But if you go to see, 25,000 is the free float, out of which 6-7,000 is only the float. The balance will never ever come. So if you invest in such companies, and obviously Siemens will do well. If India will do well or India doesn't do well, it will do well. Same way ABB, Kena Metal. So there are so many stocks which are beautiful. Buy them, go to sleep. Don't worry about Nifty. वो तो 12,000 के नीचे ही जाएगा Nifty. And again I am saying, liquidity in the market is zilk. If you would have noticed, today, हाँ अभिषेक लेता हूँ. Today, the rollover happened was 30 lakhs. ये महीने में बेचा, उपला लिया. Volume, net volume was 15 lakhs. 15 लाख वॉल्यूम था. अभी 15 लाख निफ्टी का वॉल्यूम में क्या तुम करेगा और नहीं करेगा. So this is very, 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 very illiquid market. अगर निफ्टी नहीं होएगा ना तो ये मार्केट में माल बिकना ही मुश्किल है. This is my say. Hindustan Lever, I was playing today. Some I had options. 4 rupee different quote. 4 rupees difference. In cash. Come on यार, what's wrong? 4% मतलब कितना हो गया impact cost? विप्रो में 8 आना था. So see, these are, you will say क्या बकवास करता है, but these are telltale signs. Market is not there. You are making the market to do what you want, but no more. No more it will do as you want. Market is a very, very, very funny animal. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it will be roaring. And the 4th day, there won't be anybody to buy. That's the market. And I'm sure that this market is going to be so painful that you will regret ever having being in this market. Another thing I observed today, now see, this is all intuition. I'm a man of intuition basically. I चार्ट तो मैं रोहित भाई से वो पढ़ता हूँ उनका, बाकी कुछ नहीं. So 2009, I used to wonder every day why R power, क्या होगा क्या नहीं हुआ. Then one day I realized, oh, this is a scam. This is the biggest scam in India. वहां से शुरू होती है मेरी लड़ाई. ये बोगस है, बोगस फ्रॉड है. सिंपल, ये इंट्यूशन पे. फिर जानबूझ किया, फिर जाके ऐसा हुआ कि अभी वो बैंकरप्ट हो गया. बट मार्क माय वर्ड्स, ही इज नॉट पुट इन जेल. नो एक्शन हैज बीन टेकन बिकॉज आई डोंट नो. और कोई प्रमोटर होता तो सीधा जेल में डाल देता. इसको नहीं डाला. अबजो करोड़ों अबजो रुपए. हाँ, तो ये जो बात था ना, आज दोपहर में मैं बैठा था, वो अडानी एंटरप्राइज में जॉबिंग में करता था 4-5 रुपए के लिए, 10,000 बस ऐसा. तभी मेरे को स्ट्राइक हुआ, नहीं यार, ये क्या नॉनसेंस है. Why I am becoming a part of the nonsense. फिर 10 मिनट सोचा, फिर ख्याल आया, शाबाश, दिस इज द बिगेस्ट and the biggest scam. Now, I am saying today, this is a scam. So tomorrow don't troll me कि I said it's a scam. It will happen. Wait, it will happen. 100% it will happen without fail, because it's so simple. So simple. How can you have a market cap like 100 times sales and 500 times sales? How? And it is all on borrowed money. Please. The day this debacle unravels, when, meaning when you will read in the newspaper, by the time it will be too late. What they are doing, 13 or 14 lakh crore market cap, just out of thin air. For what? For what? अपने को इधर एक 2000 करोड़ का कंपनी लेता है तो 50 लोग ठोक के जाता है, और ये 14 लाख करोड़ का कंपनी कोई बोलता नहीं. अडानी ग्रीन है ये वो. सी एंड लिसन वेरी केयरफुली. Modus operandi since 1900 is the same. Characters change, methods remain the same. तो ये सत्यम हुआ, उसमें भी बहुत कलाकारी हुआ था, लेकिन हम टिका रहा, बहुत पैसा बनाया. तो ये सत्यम हुआ, फिर ये अनिल भाई हुआ, अब जो होने जा रहा है. Modus operandi is same. Various businesses supplies to government, not to a consumer. अभी लीवर है, गवर्नमेंट से कुछ नहीं लेना देना. कंज्यूमर का डिमांड आएगा, उसका डिमांड आएगा. It's not dependent on anybody. This gentleman is only dependent on government. And it's obvious something or the other will happen. Then if he falls out with the government, who's going to bear the brunt? Who's going to bear the cat? How? तो तुम 14 लाख करोड़ पे, which is 5% of the market cap of India, तुम क्या सपना देखता है कि बुल मार्केट है? वो कोई है तो वो बोलता है रिलायंस क्या भाव है मालूम नहीं, 2600 है, फिर एक लाइन ड्रॉ करता है कि 35 हो जाएगा. अरे ये चार्ट हुआ क्या? तो ऐसा सब लोग आके सबको, प्लीज आप और ट्विटर पे चार्टिस्ट लोग को मत सुनो, एक्सेप्ट रोहित भाई को, वो बहुत सेंसिबल आदमी है. बाकी सब बकवास है. और ये जो मैंने बोला ना कंपनी का, प्लीज डोंट टेक इट लाइटली. You will remember me. It might take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but ये सब मिट्टी में मिल जाएगा. अगर शेयर बाजार में आपको हिस्ट्री मालूम है, सब कचरा पट्टी कचरे में ही जाता है. यूनिटेक, जेपी, सुजलॉन, कुछ भी ले लो, सब निफ्टी स्टॉक था. हम अनिल भाई का निफ्टी स्टॉक था. सब कचरे में जाता है. इसके लिए बोलता हूँ, एमएनसी लो, सुख पाओगे, रिटर्न ज्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. हाँ, पर 10 साल में आप 5 टाइम होएगा, 3 टाइम होएगा, उतना रिटर्न आपको मिलेगा. वो क्विक रिटर्न नहीं मिलेगा आरबीएल बैंक के जैसा. And another thing, this Rohit bhai,
Yeah.
I was watching TCS, Emphasis, Wipro, and Infi. That's what I follow. So they are looking very weak in today's market when Nifty was 715 or thereabouts. It was languishing. It wasn't participating. So I think everybody, whosoever has to buy, has bought. And now nobody is there to buy. And वो कुछ वेरिएबल का आया क्या मालूम नहीं, और उधर वो नहीं कॉग्निजन ने एक्सेंचर भी नीचा जा रहा है. तो डू यू थिंक माय reading that uh, uh, 20, 30, 40% will be off?
Yeah, it is a fair possibility given that the US, when I'm studying, because our tech sector somewhere starts mirroring the US Nasdaq and tech sector, and there it looks like it is starting another major wave down. So your observation is right that in this bounce, our tech, which was so strong last year, is feeling like the weakest sector. So if something is weak, then something is definitely wrong, and what is weak remains the weakest is my theory. So it's clearly showing signs of that.
No, so and so is auto also. It's on the verge of giving away. So if tech and auto are gone, FMCG and all, there is no strength only. वो ठीक है निफ्टी के लिए इधर उधर, तो बचाएगा क्या टेक, ये फाइनेंशियल्स?
Mm. Yeah, no, it's going to be broad based. That is very simple in my mind. It is not कोई नहीं है बचाने को.
Oh, so sorry, I forgot. You are from the same camp. So what should an investor do in such a scenario?
Well, if he has the mental wherewithal to uh, create significant cash, I mean, that is what I am doing. So, but when I tell other people, there are different people at different degrees. Like I just got an email from someone saying, मैंने सुन के कहीं पे 30% तो create कर लिया. So it is, each one is different. Some people don't want to sell long term holdings, which is fine. But if you create some room to buy at a later price, or even not that, if you create some cash, it always reduces the downside risk of your portfolio. So how much you should create may be an individual decision. I'm okay with going significant, so I am more than 70%, 75% cash.
So if you don't mind, I can borrow from you if you're sitting on cash. No, see, for me, there is a portfolio which doesn't exist only for me as such, and I'm not allowed to touch it also. So
Right.
apart from that, I don't have anything. I have only MNCs. That's it. I and my MNCs and one or two this what do you call fast food, QSR.
Right.
I have,
But as I understand your approach, yours is that if you are seeing so much weakness in the market, you hedge it with a Nifty short on the opposite side. So that sort of solves your
no, I
problem.
had stocks. I don't have Nifty. Nifty में 1-2% मिलता है, स्टॉक में बहुत मिलता है.
Got it. Okay.
Westlife is good. I like it. And Rohit bhai, if you do a detailed study, one day we will sit down together. I can show you at least 100 stocks which are investable, which are gold mine, which are real investable companies. So instead of that, people are hankering for what not यार. मैं देखता हूँ ये ले लो वो ले लो, अरे काय को लेता है भाई, मरेगा.
Hmm.
And because you have an analytical mind and a computer software along with you, if you run a program, how many companies have disappeared or decimated in last 20 years? The result will be
Right.
mind-boggling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very difficult to invest your hard-earned money, and if your money is not hard-earned, it's okay. Then it doesn't matter. Or sir,
Yeah, no, I concur with what you said earlier that, and I said it yesterday also in my spaces, that the most difficult phase is actually ahead. People think कि हो गया, मुझे लग रहा है हुआ क्या है अभी. अभी तो- and you pointed out specific group there is in India, surprisingly or beautifully, in every cycle there is a particular group, sector, or industry which gets over extended and then gets decimated also. And that is a potential risk.
and Rohit bhai, a lot of people will say they have the government backing and this and that, and they are invincible and all that. Okay, but from my experience, I am saying, तुम you wear any वो बख्तर बोलते हैं ना, so you will fall. Law of economics is a very powerful natural tool. It will bring you down. Howsoever you may powerful be, or whatever you want, whatever you can do. No, itna power.
I mean, see, I'll give one example from history, for anybody who, I mean, you have been long enough here. There may be some other people. The 1990s is a good learning phase where there were many companies that, moment they start overextending themselves, like they were the NBFCs, they start to diversify and buy new companies or go into new businesses. And the usual reason for doing that is that somewhere their capital, there is something that we don't know, where their capital has to be serviced and they are looking at new sources of cash flow. So moment I read, okay, they are buying out, Ambuja Cement or some cement company. Now it is saying they are buying NDTV. This is going outside of their normal businesses. Why are you trying to acquire other businesses which are not in your line of business, except unless you are desperate for something, which is, the cash flow or something from some other source of income or some other assets you want to show. That is the only desperation I have seen in the 90s, and that is sort of like a warning sign that something's not right.
No, if I recollect, this Cipla had a finance company called Alpic Finance, the reverse of Cipla, Alpic. So it went down belly up like. So anybody who's done diversification has met with the same fate, barring few. That's also very difficult to get. So I think this, I cannot pinpoint out what is the exact reasoning for acquiring this and that and that. But it's very bad, yeah. Even my servant told me he wants to be taken over by Adani. I said, Chubet. It's crazy, crazy. And anyway, see, Rohit bhai, as such, you are more experienced than not than most of the people over here. You don't know, you know the ramifications of what will happen if this unfolds, as I am thinking. It will be very bad. ये निफ्टी का कोई भाव नहीं पूछेगा बॉस. Yeah, Abhishek, you wanted to say something.
हाँ sir. It was about Rohit Srivastava sir's last space, which I heard. बहुत ही amazing था, and I kind of agree with all the things that you said. With the macro picture, oh, absolutely yes. And then even the Elliott wave, although I don't understand Elliott wave that well, but then just about price action, okay. कि ये जब 3 बार घुमा है 18,100 या 200 या 300 whatever the figure is, वहाँ से जब घुमा है, every time it has gone on to make a newer lower low, right? Every time it has done that, and then this time is no different. Is what I feel. And considering today's price action has concreted my views even more than anything else. आज का तो मेरे को लग ही रहा था कि ये घुसने वाला है भाई साहब, because the giveaways were there. Maybe not too many people would have seen it, but the biggest giveaway was there in the price of the puts and the calls. Generally, if you see on the expiry day, your prices of puts and calls will be at the same, more or less the same level. कल का दिन जो अपना बंद हुआ था 17,600 के आसपास, your put was running at about $50 at closing, and your call was running at $75, and the index was at 607 closing. So this means कि people were more bullish than bearish. And generally क्या होता है कि हमेशा the opposite side gets screwed very badly. And then even today also, 720 was the level where there was a gap pending in the market between 690 and 720, if I'm not wrong, approximately. वहाँ पे जाके exactly the high was 720 today in the afternoon. That is when I figured out कि ये fake pump है भाई, ये तो गया. You had to make a big position over there, and then उसके बाद पता ही है क्या हुआ. But moreover than the index itself, the stocks में जो selling हुई है, it's quite बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ है. Reliance, HDFC Twins, and then what was keeping the market up? Auto ढीला पड़ गया था गंदा वाला. And I think even from now onwards also, auto is going to be a sector where the most amount of selling is going to come. First auto, and probably second IT, or probably first IT and second auto. I cannot really judge that way, but then it's good as a trader to have positions in both being bearish. Moreover, Bajaj Twins was one more indication where I got कि they have run up quite a bit. वहाँ पे जब सेलिंग आया तब समझ में आ गया कि ये तो बड़ा सेलिंग है. It's not like small selling which is happening. So that is one thing. And then absolutely जो आपने बात बताया कि ये जो C wave होता है of the entire up move, it's going to be much more fierce and ganda wala jane wala. And from here, I think the kind of up move that we have seen in the last 2 months, and people were made to believe कि ये नया bull market चालू हुआ है, and then lot of these Twitter artists also were very very bullish. 21,000 जाएगा, 22,000 जाएगा, 25,000 जाएगा, I don't know what not. But then the fact of the matter is 18,100, that was line in the sand for you as well, and for many of us who are believing it as a bear market rally, and that has been protected. यहाँ से there's a one-way fall which will, I will, yeah, maybe will is not the word to use because markets can be obnoxious at times. So probability है कि the previous low will be tested, and much sooner than later. Maybe a few overhangs are there with the FOMC meets and the pivot and all that. But ये pivot कैसे करेंगे? That was the main question I have. See, inflation is rising everywhere. So pivot basically means कि they're going to stop QT and they're going to stop the interest rate hikes, which in my opinion is not possible. Yeah, please go ahead. That's about
रोहित भाई, एक टेक्निकल सवाल है कि
Yeah.
18,600 हुआ, 300 हुआ, 100 हुआ, 18,000 हुआ,
Hmm.
अभी वापस रिटेस्ट होएगा कि नीचे ही घुस जाएगा सीधा?
My view as of now is कि नीचे ही जाएगा.
नहीं, नीचे जाएगा is a very lame answer.
नहीं, मतलब the top is done. The top is done. We are not going to go above this.
नहीं, I won't accept your answer as such. आप बहुत अच्छे से आंसर देते हो, ऐसा आंसर मत दो. वो जोर में वो घुसेगा कि नहीं, ऐसा मैं पूछता.
My gut feel is that is what is going to happen, because this entire 9 months looks more like a distribution at the same level, बार बार 18,000 पे आके, very similar to what happened between 2018 and 2020, where the Nifty kept coming back to 12,500. It took the pandemic for you to finally sell off, but it was all along one line, एक ही line पे वापस आके touch किया उसने तीसरे बार, and then it gave up. So this is sort of a similar setup here, where at least the Nifty 500 has come back to a line third time in 9 months. Ideal time for it to actually fall more than expected. So if I say इतना नीचे जाएगा तो मेरे भी expectations को exceed कर देगा, ऐसा मेरा सोच है.
Yeah, very well answered. I like this answer of yours. Abhishek, you agree with this or not?
Yes, sir, I do agree. I do agree. See, मतलब मेरा कहना ये है कि the speed will surprise you from here on, but then direction is correct. So let the speed surprise you. Direction पकड़ के रहना बस.
किरीट भाई आओ ना, मनराज भाई, किरीट भाई किधर हो? ले लो स्पीकर. नहीं ले. चलिए. समद भाई, आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हो भाई? नहीं है समद भाई. So, what worries me is, okay, निफ्टी वो ठीक है, 13-14 हजार पे सेटल हो जाएगा, वांदा नहीं. पर ये जो कॉर्पोरेट का है, वो 5% मार्केट कैप है यार. उड़ेगा तो क्या भूचाल मचेगा यार, किसको मालूम नहीं है. 5% मार्केट कैप उड़ना, अब 5 में से 3 भी उड़ गया तो भी क्या है, कितना बड़ा नुकसान होगा. तो वेरी डेंजरस. I don't have anything else to say. If anybody wants to put in some questions, please. Chirag?
सर
Good evening, good evening.
सर मैं तो नौसिखिया हूँ. आप मैं इससे क्या यहाँ तो सब ज्ञानी है, मैं क्या बोलूँगा यहाँ पे. बस मैंने एक शॉर्ट किया था 18,000 पे, तो उसका स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रखा है मैंने. बस बाकी तो बस चल ही रहा है सब धीरे धीरे. आप तो जानते ही हो मेरा सिचुएशन. बट
नहीं, apart from your trading position, वो छोड़ दीजिए. What does your gut say, and what does your experience say? What does your feeling say?
my is very underdeveloped compared to all the big people here, but instinct says take puts, lots of them. And though I'm not taking puts, but instinct कहता है कि monthly put लेके बैठ जाओ, बस देखी जाएगी फिर.
Okay, so you are based on puts.
जी सर.
Sir, but I think that's a very good idea. जो चिराग सर ने बताया, it's a very good idea. 17,500 का पर उठा के बस बैठ जाओ. एट द मनी है, एट द मनी लेके खड़े रह जाओ. जितना जाएगा जाने तो सितंबर एंड तक.
अरे प्रॉब्लम ये है कि पैसा नहीं है ना भाई. सब ले गया.
क्या सर, क्या करे सर, ये जो बुल्स है ना सर, अभी इनको कुछ क्या करे सर, पूरा पैसा लेके चले गए.
नहीं, see, I disagree with you on this. See, this is a
नहीं सर, मजाक कर
long-term
रहा हूँ.
game. No, this is a long-term game. It's not going to get over in September or in next September or September thereafter. It will go on and on and on. Only thing is certain. New set of players will come and old set of players will go. ये कार्यक्रम हमेशा चलता रहेगा। मार्केट उधर का उधर ही है। अपने 7,000 में भी देखेंगे, 25,000 में भी देखेंगे, मार्केट उधर का ही है। खाली पार्टिसिपेंट्स बदली होएगा, वो नक्की है। इसके लिए बोलता हूँ भाई साहब, छोटा छोटा खेलो, छोटा छोटा, कि आप 40-50 साल बाजार में टिक पाओ, उतना ही है। नहीं तो मुझको भी आता है वो लड़की की तरह कांचा, 60 लाख का आज फटकार ले लिया। साला 60 लाख में कितना विस्की और सिगरेट आता था, माय गॉड। क्या करें। किरीट भाई बोलो ना कुछ। चलिए, किरीट भाई आज नाराज है लगे। पीडी आप बोलो।
Good evening, Sharad sir. Evening, Rohit bhai and everybody. Um, the podcast that Rohit bhai put out and the speeches yesterday, I have seldom heard people so succinctly put across their point without being jingoistic about anything. So, Rohit sir, hats off to you. Sharad bhai, Rohit sir, why has been so much bullishness in the small banks and especially the mid-level public sector banks? Can anybody, explain why is there such undercurrent of bullishness there when the books are horrible over there? Something that has escaped my understanding.
Hello,
ये
Sharad bhai Kirit.
या किरीट भाई बोलिए।
Sorry, there was some problem with the connection. हाँ जी, हुकुम शरद भाई. What is the
बोलिए।
question?
क्वेश्चन इज, बाजार क्या लगता है?
To be honest, if I knew I would be the richest man, but एक basic structure होता है because we are price action follower. तो कभी भी हमने ये देखा है, जैसे जो 3 दिन पहले करेक्ट हुआ और परसों जो लो बन के वहां से चला, अगर आप गौर से देखेंगे तो आज वो उस दिन के बेस लो के नीचे भी बंद हुआ है, जिसको वन डे रिएक्शन कहते हैं। वन डे रिएक्शन ये होता है कि बाजार as of today was showing such weakness that it couldn't even sustain rally for one day. सिमिलर थिंग रिवर्स साइड में होती है कि बाजार ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, एक डे करेक्शन होता है और नेक्स्ट डे फिर वो हाई के क्लोज के ऊपर बंद होता है। दैट्स अ साइन ऑफ बुलिशनेस। इज इट अ बेयर मार्केट रैली or are we in for a new ATH? Honestly, I don't know. I think Rohit had given some inputs last time. So Rohit covered these colder. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rohit. Colder cycles and Elliott wheels.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I've been following Rohit. We have some tips at times, couple of years back. As in difference of opinion. Eventually, Sharad bhai can just say, ये तो पता नहीं है. But I think the first thing that I'm looking at is आज वो एक दिन की भी रैली नहीं सस्टेन कर पाए। दूसरा मैंने ये नोट किया है, सिंस वी डू अ लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च, कि अगर आप 2008 से भी देखेंगे, इट वाज इन द ट्यून ऑफ 16 टू आई थिंक 90% जहां से वो बाउंस हुआ था फ्रॉम द एब्सोल्यूट लो। तो अगर आप एक करंट रैली भी देखोगे तो मोर और लेस वो होता है। एंड थर्ड थिंग इज कि आई हैड डन लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च ऑन गैन, बट आई डोंट फॉलो गैन बिकॉज रियलिटी में चलता नहीं। बट हर एक चीज से कुछ चीज ऐसी निकलती है कि इट जस्ट फर्दर सब्सटैंशिएट्स द वैलिडेशन। तो अगर आप देखेंगे नंबर ऑफ डेज फॉल का, अगर ये देखेंगे एंड राइज का देखेंगे, इसको स्विंग लो और स्विंग हाई का कहते हैं, तो इट इज कोइंसाइडिंग अराउंड 2-3 डेज। तो दीज आर व्हाट आई थिंक। आई कुड डेफिनेटली गो रॉन्ग, बट मेरा बिलीव ये, आई एम अ प्राइस एक्शन फॉलोअर। जहां सिस्टम का सिग्नल आता है बाय, वहां मैं बाय करता हूँ, हमको रिस्क पहले मालूम होता है। जहां सेल आता है वहां सेल करता हूँ। अब ये भी मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि हम लॉन्ग थे
16.5 के आसपास से 1100 पॉइंट मिल गया। क्या मुझे पता था ये 17-18 हजार जाएगा? नहीं। अगर मुझे पता हो तो शायद मैं भी 1 लाख निफ्टी लेके बैठ जाता और 60 लाख का लॉस नहीं 60 करोड़ बनाता। बट वी फॉलो रिस्क। तो यही है जो अपने को समझ में आता है, जो दिख रहा है उसको फॉलो करते हैं। ज्यादातर बार गलत जाते हैं, फ्यू टाइम सही जाते हैं, बट हमारे में फर्क ये है अगर गलत में हम 1-1.5% खोते हैं तो व्हेन वी गो राइट वी डेफिनेटली लुक एट एनीवेयर अपवर्ड ऑफ 3 to 4 आवर इफ द मार्केट गिव्स मी। So this is my view.
किरीट भाई,
हाँ जी सर,
किरीट भाई,
बोलो ना सर।
ये आप कर रहे थे ना, तो वो कुछ बात याद आ गया
बोलो ना साहब।
कि whomsoever I'm talking to, I talk to the biggest of the big
Yes,
traders.
very true, very true. Yes.
Everybody is tired and sick.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to take a position. फिर गन पॉइंट रखता है तो 1-2 पोजीशन लेता है, वो भी स्क्वायर ऑफ हो जाता है। एक बहुत बड़ा बुल है,
हाँ
आज ही अभी बात मैंने किया तो
हाँ
इतना चिढ़ा मेरे पे, इतना चिढ़ा,
हाँ
क्या तुम लोग लेते हो बेचते हो, लेते बेचते हो,
हाँ।
ठीक से रहने नहीं देते हो। अरे मैं बोला मेरा काम है लेना बेचना, तेरे को क्या प्रॉब्लम? सो व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड इज पीपल आर टायर्ड
Yeah.
and you can see in the market also there is not much of an activity.
Hmm.
Only they maintain the price in the last half an hour and go home,
Hmm.
which one day will give in कि ये ऐसे नहीं होता है भाई, तुम रोज बंद भाव लिखाएगा,
Hmm.
कब तक चलेगा?
Hmm.
वो भी एक दिन थक जाएगा।
Hmm.
तो somewhere I think नॉन स्टॉप 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000 पॉइंट जाएगा।
Mhm.
There is nobody who's going to say I want to buy Nifty.
Hmm.
Everybody is tired. अभी आप 16.5 में ले लिया,
Hmm.
luck, knowledge, whatever it is.
No, nothing. It just
But
worked. It just worked.
no, yeah.
Let me
I'm
be
saying the
honest.
same thing.
Because देखो लकीर खींचने से और आंकड़े देने से अगर ये चीज चलती तो फिर पैसा कौन खोता है बाजार में? एग्री करते हो? अगर मैं कहता हूँ मैंने 16.5 में लिया, मेरा कन्विक्शन था, तो मैं एक ही ट्रेड नहीं मारता शरद भाई 1 लाख निफ्टी। साल भर मुझे कुछ करने की जरूरत ही नहीं थी।
नहीं तो आपने
मैं
कम
अभी भी
मारा था
बता
क्या?
रहा हूँ। हाँ
नहीं
हाँ
आपने कम मारा था क्या? मैं
नहीं,
तो
हम
सोचा
उतना ही
2-3 लाख
मारते।
लिया।
नहीं 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 नहीं। बात 1,000 या 3 लाख की भी नहीं है। बात ये होता है अगर एट एनी गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वेयर इज माय परफॉर्मेंस, वेयर इज द P&L स्टैंडिंग। कन्विक्शन काई पर નથી કામ આવતું બજારમાં। आप बेरिश हो, मैं बुलिश हो, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इज द मार्केट बॉदर व्हाट इज शरद भाई व्यू, और बाजार वही करेगा जो उसको करना है। मैंने स्टार्ट में ही एक सिंपल एग्जांपल दिया जो हम काफी बार यूज करते हैं। मैंने पहले भी कुछ स्पेसेस में बोला है, बीच में मैं स्पेस में जाना बंद कर दिया था, अभी आपका था तो आपको मना नहीं कर सकते हैं। अगर बाजार परसों के बॉटम से चला है, वो एक दिन गेन नहीं होल्ड कर पा रहा है, व्हाट इज इट टेलिंग यू?
No, yesterday the difference in volume between the current series and the next one was only 20 lakhs, and today it was 15 or 25 lakhs. So where is the volume, sir? I'm strictly convinced this is anybody's market on the downside. And I was making a point, last time you bought at 16,500. Now it will, if it will come again, you will short it. First, you don't have confidence in the market. Secondly, you are tired. 8 महीना हो गया इधर का इधर, ये बाजार, प्लीज there is nothing happening in the market. So people are tired. People are attending spaces like nobody's business. What to?
सर
ये बात है मेरा.
बात आपकी बिल्कुल सही है पर एक मेरे केस में वो भी है अगर कल बाजार में सी आई मे हैव अ प्लान बट आई मीन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इफ द प्राइस इज टेलिंग मी आई विल स्टिक टू द प्लान अगर वो मुझे बेचने कहता है मैं बेचूंगा कल खरीदने कहेगा मैं खरीदूंगा राइट बिकॉज आई थिंक सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है जो मैंने देखा है आफ्टर हैविंग मेंटर्ड 150 लोगों को पूरे ग्लोब में कि अपना व्यू अहम आता है पर आदमी ये भूल जाता है कि मैं इस बाजार में किस लिए हूँ वी आर ऑल हियर टू मेक मनी I keep saying this business is not about being right. As George Soros says, it's all about how big you win or how less you lose. अगर मेरी ठीक है आई नो कि ये पोजीशन है इतना रिस्क है हम पोजीशन साइजिंग पे काम करते हैं फिर वो बोले 20,000 लेना है 2,000 लेना है 500 लेना है या 2 लाख लेना है इफ इट फॉल विद इन द रिस्क पैरामीटर आई विल टेक किसने 15,200 में ये सोचा होगा कि बाजार 17,800 जाए 18,000 जाए बताइए इट्स एन ओपन क्वेश्चन टू ऑल द ऑडियंस इंक्लूडिंग द स्पीकर इफ समबडी सेज मुझे पता था कि बाजार इतना ऊपर जाएगा जैसा विक्टर नीडर ऑफर कहता है दैट अ राइज और फॉल वाज कमिंग इज नोन टू एवरीबॉडी आफ्टर द इवेंट हैज हैपेंड कल 17,450 के नीचे ट्रेड करेगा आई विल शॉर्ट मेरे को क्या लेना है आप और मैं बाजार में रुपया बना लेते हैं
किरीट भाई
हाँ जी सर
from my experience
या
ये मुंह आता है अपने पैसा आता है जाता है यू नो छोटा बात है वो सब करने में एक मुंह आ जाता है एक मुंह अपने हाथ में आ जाता है कि आपको 100 करोड़ 200 करोड़ 500 करोड़ दे देगा तो at times you have to beg for that move.
Sharad bhai, your voice is cracking. Your voice is cracking. Can you repeat it again, please? The last line.
Now.
No, it's better. It's better. Yeah.
Now, yeah. So I'm saying.
हाँ.
ये डेली आया गया वो सब ठीक है यार वो कचरा पट्टी है
उसमें कुछ पैसा नहीं बनता
नहीं वो बनता भी होगा तो भी वो कोई मायना नहीं रखता
एब्सोल्युटली
एक मुंह उसमें मिल जाता है
yes
which you also don't know
correct
but because you are trading so much and out of experience you realize oh damn good this is a paplu and there you place your bets like nobody's business and you make tons and tons of money so basically trading is not about risk management not about daily earning and losing and all that no our trading is when the moment comes you should be ready otherwise every day is a net practice and hammer when you see a chance make big money then again a net practice so it works like that nobody makes money every day
no I fully agree but I have slight difference here कि I think momentum okay आज जो रफ्तार से 716 की निफ्टी 480 दी है do we know what is going to happen tomorrow at least I don't know okay
नहीं किरीट भाई I'm not saying of daily movements and all that I'm saying you see the big picture and basically I'm talking about stocks
Correct. Yeah.
And of Nifty also, there have been times when I purchased options and I made 60 crores, 80 crores in a single month. And in a single month, I lost 70 crores, 60 crores, and all that also. So, what I'm trying to say is big money, big money. I'm not talking of dal bhat. Dal bhat ka baat nahi karta. ये big money. If at the right moment, if you strike it,
Yeah.
तो ही बनेगा. वो रोज रोज आपका बनेगा नहीं पैसा.
ये बात
Please.
से बिल्कुल मैं सहमत हूँ, पर उसमें शरद भाई एक और चीज है कि वो बड़ा पैसा तब बनता है जब यू स्टे विद द ट्रेड. ये आप एग्री करेंगे मुझसे. यहाँ बेचा 10 रुपए नीचे काटा, लॉट साइज 2500 का है, 25,000 बन गया, यू आर वेरी हैप्पी. एंड ऑफ द डे आप एंड ऑफ द मंथ टोटल मारना, नील बटा नील, बना अमीर ब्रोकर. And how many have the capacity to hold on to a trade? Why is it that only 2% people make it big in trading?
नहीं वो तो लॉस में ही जाता है. वो इश्यू ही नहीं है. आई एम सेइंग कि प्लीज keep your mind and ears open, eyes open.
Yeah.
There will be a trade which will come.
Absolutely.
Where you can make tons and tons of money.
Fully agree with you.
और निफ्टी में किसी का भी भला नहीं हुआ है, आज तक लिख के देता हूँ.
एकदम सही बात कही. मैं अक्सर ट्वीट करता हूँ, the biggest action, the biggest money is made in stocks. और मैंने एक ये भी नोटिस देखा है, shorter the time period, lowest is the probability of you become a successful, profitable trader on an annualized basis. मुझे आपने बताया ना आपके ट्रेड आपने क्या भाव से बेचे और कहाँ काटे हैं. You say ना you go right 13% of the time. Then why are you so famous? Because you stuck with the trade that gave you a fortune. जो नहीं चला काट जान छोड़ा. Am I right, शरद भाई?
नहीं 17 वो जो 87% है, वो मार्जिनल ट्रेड से आधा टका 1% में निकल रहे. तो वो कौन मांगता है उसको? So it's like that. Chop. हाँ, this is good. इसको पकड़ के रखो.
Yes.
So it's like you play the game of elimination, like ऐसा ही है बॉस.
Very true.
ये मैं देख रहा था. ये एम्फोसिस है. 2174 या 47 बंदा है, कुछ मालूम नहीं. 100% बोलता हूँ 1,000 के नीचे हो जाएगा. यस. शॉर्ट नहीं है मेरे को. तो अभी सी दिस इज एन आर्ट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन, the art of serendipity and all that. But over the period of time you will develop this from experience, everything. Now strictly you want to become Sharad Shah, it's not possible because I have fucked around so much. It's beyond narrating also. So this is all. After all that, I can talk of some wisdom, 40% wisdom. और 100% wisdom किसी में भी नहीं होता है. Impossible. कोई बोले मैंने ये किया वही किया, कुछ नहीं. हाँ, एक बात बोलता हूँ, रोहित भाई बराबर बोलता है. अपने उनके आशिक है यार.
नहीं, he is good at his craft. And he is
very good, exceptionally good.
Yes, he's been good at his craft, and he's a well-known name. Some of the good people praise him.
No, and forget that he's good at his craft. He's humble. The other day I was on the Spaces. The co-host said something derogatory or something about so, he immediately said, "Please don't talk like that to any speaker." So there I realized there lies a great human being. Forget Charles. He's a great human being.
No doubt
Rohit
about
bhai,
it.
ताली तो
Arey,
बजाओ.
thanks so much. But I'll just take your topic, what you said. There are so many things, and this comes from experience. So many things that I can relate from even my craft, because the job, whatever science of market we follow, our job is to find something that stares at you in the face, which tells you ki this is it. But the whole problem is, and Kiritji, as you mentioned, you do various programs, and we've been doing them and recently. And one thing which I do, which I'll mention, is I tell people, and this started as a game with my technical team at Sherkhan many years ago, ki every month we used to play Teen Patti.
Okay.
And playing Teen Patti.
शरद भाई, वो समर्थ भाई का मैसेज आया है, उनको को होस्ट में से निकालने के लिए बोला है. ही इज नॉट एबल टू.
चालू रखो ना रोहित भाई. हेलो. रोहित भाई, आ रहा है आवाज?
हाँ सर, आपका आवाज आ रहा है.
हाँ, तो रोहित भाई आप कुछ बोल रहे थे.
His mic is on mute. He's left, I think.
Okay. अब पीडी आप कुछ बोल रहे थे.
हेलो.
हाँ
जी. No, I think what Rohit is talking makes sense. I mean, he's been an old heart. और एक चीज ये भी होती है, आई थिंक एज यू राइटली सेड शरद भाई, कि बहुत सी चीज वो कहते हैं ना, आप लोगों की भाषा में सैकड़ा देख के समझ में आता है. एक ब्रोकर मुझे कहता था कुछ साल पहले, व्हेन आई वाज लर्निंग, तब वो बात पाले नहीं पड़ती थी. अब जैसे जैसे टाइम जाता है, व्हेन यू इंटरैक्ट विद गुड पीपल, तो थोड़ा समझ में आता है. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I thought I had lost you guys. I think there are some 2-3 people, Sharad bhai, if you can invite them.
Yeah.
They can add value probably.
Yeah.
Rohit is there. Let Rohit continue with what he left with.
Yeah, Rohit.
तीन पत्ती का बता रहा था वो कुछ.
हाँ रोहित भाई. रोहित भाई, unmute yourself and speak. No, Rohit bhai.
I think he's having trouble with his phone. Yesterday is also day before space. Also, he was having trouble.
विशाल भाई बोलिए.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, I am actually down with a little bad throat, so probably I won't be able to speak too much today. But yeah. So please excuse me for today, sir.
Yeah.
सर मेरे को को-होस्ट बनाइए ना, क्योंकि 2-3 रिक्वेस्ट भी आई है मेरे पास, तो वो मैसेज आया है सर.
भेज दिया भाई.
Sharad bhai, there is one trader by the name Chirag Kabani. He is also an old hat in the market. उनको भी बुलाइए ना. Let's hear him what his views are.
Actually, I don't agree with his views. Yeah, छोड़ो.
Sorry.
Okay, anyway, I don't want to be rude. I will invite him. I ask him to send a request, no, so I can take him.
I think he's listening to you. He's very much showing up on the screen. Vishal, can you send him a request?
Vishal, I did.
No, Vishal, I'm telling Vishal could send Chirag Kabani a request.
I am not a
नहीं नहीं
co-host,
मैं
sir.
भेजता हूँ गिरीश जी,
हाँ,
मैं भेजता हूँ.
हाँ,
चिराग भाई आ
thank you.
जाओ यार.
Fact Finder, you are not accepting the request.
I think Rohit is again showing up. Can Rohit speak up? Completed. That was sounding very interesting.
रोहित सर नहीं दिख रहे मेरे को.
ज्ञान मेजू तो दिख रहे हैं. अच्छा, समर जी,
हाँ जी.
एक ट्रेडर हैं. ही इज अ वेरी ओल्ड हैड इन द मार्केट पर वेरी लो प्रोफाइल. वो शायद आएंगे नहीं, बट प्लीज इनवाइट हिम. वेरी वैल्यूएबल इनपुट. हिज नेम इज दर्शन बजाज. हेलो.
भेजा है इनवाइट सर.
भेजा है ना?
यस सर. डीजे एक्सेप्ट कीजिए रिक्वेस्ट. श्रीनी जी.
समझ, जिनका हो गया ना उनको रिमूव करो ना, तकलीफ है लेने को नया.
यस सर. ओके सर. यस. नीलेश भाई बाकी है सर अभी.
विशाल का हो गया.
Sir, I am going on speaker, listener mode, sir. Thank you.
कारा भाई बोलो.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good.
Nothing new to add here. I'm in 100% agreement with most of the views that have been expressed here. I don't have a good feeling about this, how the market sold off today. The smart money, which is the FIIs who have been driving this market up by their crazy buying, they have also turned net short in the past few days. So looks like selling can intensify once again from these levels. So my bias clearly based on the FI positioning and the price action is on the downside from here. So we'll see how it progresses next week. Charts also are not looking very not looking bullish at all. Like Abhishek had talked about that pattern that's for rejection from these 18K plus minus 1% level. It's happened a few times. Then if you look at the weekly charts, the formation is not seems like the upside is very limited or capped at this point of time. So good time to book out from, at least I'm booking out from some of my cash buying I had done at 16.5, 17K levels. Got a good 10%. So I'll be happy to put that in my pocket and get out.
Don't get out. Keep the money in the market. Buy good stocks. It is the time to buy good stocks. Having said this,
Yeah, that's
in the month, no. I'm saying something else. Somewhere FI sold some 1,80,000 or 1,80,000 lakh crore, 180 lakh crore or something like that. Okay. Am I right?
yes, that number's
Hello?
that number's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of which 40,000 is bought again by the FIs. Okay. Now, still 1,40,000 remains in the system. If the market becomes wobbly over here, what will happen to that 1,40,000? It's a great question to ponder on. इतना तो डिमांड है ही नहीं, तो क्या होएगा? ओके, चैतन्य प्लीज. Chaitanya.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Hi, Sharad, sir.
Hmm.
So, as I have put my view before on this space on 29th July, if you remember, Sharad, sir,
Hmm.
कि एक साइकिल मैंने आपको बताई थी सर कि फ्रॉम हियर मार्केट में गो अप टू 17,870 to 900.
एक मिनट.
Yes, sir.
ये शेयर मार्केट है. ओके,
Yes, sir.
अभी तक तुम क्या बोला था ना, उसका कोई मायना नहीं है. अभी क्या बोलते हैं वो बोल. अब पीछे का तो मैं भी बोलूं, मैं ऐसा बोला हुआ है बोला. अभी बता क्या बोलने कहते थे.
सर
चलो गए. हाँ नीलेश भाई.
हाँ सर, वो लास्ट वीक स्पिनिंग टॉप बना था, वहां से ऊपर से हथौड़े जैसा ही हुआ है, और ये वीक भी कल लास्ट डे है.
इन निफ्टी.
एक मिनट नीलेश भाई એને વાત કરવા દો.
ये
हाँ बोलो. हाँ चैतन्य बोलियो.
यस चेतन जी, बोलिए आप.
अरे लाडू खा लो.
हेलो.
बोलो ना. हाँ माँ बोल भाई. हर तरीके. हाँ नीलेश भाई बोलो.
हाँ, तो कल का भी जो सर वीकली क्लोज आएगा वो भी मेरे हिसाब से नेगेटिव आएगा. और आई थिंक मैंने लास्ट टाइम बोला था 5 से 7 वीक का करेक्शन, और मेरा डेट भी निकल रहा है October 23rd, एंड यू ऑल्सो कोइंसाइडेड इट विद द रिजल्ट. तो वही है व्यू मेरा. 18,000 को भी रिजेक्ट किया है, 18,100 के सामने लोअर टॉप बना है, और ये बार शायद हम लोग 15,200 के सामने 14,700 मारेंगे 5 से 7 वीक में. और October 23 ये मेरा डेट है सर.
ओके, थैंक यू. हाँ
थैंक यू
राहुल.
सर.
राहुल मान बोलिए.
हेलो.
हेलो.
हाँ सर.
हाँ राहुल मान
हाँ,
बोलिए. बंद हो गया.
राहुल जी बोलिए. राहुल, अनम्यूट करके बोलिए.
ओके.
चैतन्य बोलिए. आप बोलिए.
यस सर. जैसे कुछ मेरा भी फिलहाल मार्केट में यही है कि मैं आज निफ्टी में पुट कैरी फॉरवर्ड करके गया हूँ मंथली पुट. यहाँ से व्यू बियरिश है सर, एंड आई थिंक वी आर हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स 16,100 फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. मतलब पहले तो
हेलो.
हेलो. ऑडिबल सर.
या
हाँ बोल.
यस
हाँ
सर.
बोलो भाई.
वही सर, मैंने वही बोला कि मेरा भी व्यू मार्केट आर बियरिश. मेरा भी बियरिश मार्केट में आज मैं पुट कैरी करके गया हूँ फ्रॉम ऑफ 17,800 मंथली पुट. और उसके अपोजिट मैंने सोच रहा हूँ कि अपोजिट उसके हेज कर लूँ वन सितंबर एक्सपायरी, 1 सितंबर की एक्सपायरी का 17,800 का कॉल. बस यही है सर. और
बढ़िया.
ओवरऑल मेरा जो फिलहाल मार्केट में टारगेट है वो 16,100 की नियर अबाउट आता है. इन बैंक निफ्टी 33,500 to 34,000 इन बिटवीन.
और अगर ये टारगेट आता है दोनों मिलके मंजीरा बजाएंगे, वांदा नहीं है। मैं मंजीरा बहुत अच्छा बजाता हूँ।
टारगेट आता है तो
क्या?
ये टारगेट आता है तो
नहीं, टारगेट नहीं आता है तो मंजीरा बजाएंगे और क्या करेंगे यार।
हाँ ठीक है सर, बट वही सर कि मैंने जो अभी बोला कि मैं एक हेज कर रहा हूँ, मतलब अगर मैं गलत हूँ, मेरा स्टॉप लॉस कम करने के लिए मैं एक 17,800 का कॉल भी लॉन्ग करने की सोच रहा हूँ यहाँ से ऑफ 1 सितंबर। बाकी पुट में तो बैठा है बिकॉज एक ओवरऑल एनालिसिस था सर, उसमें से 3-4 लेग्स ऑलरेडी कंप्लीट सक्सेसफुली हो चुके हैं। सो दैट्स व्हाई कि मतलब अभी कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ चुका है कि यार ना वी आर हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स 16,100 एटलीस्ट।
और कितना लॉट लिया है?
सर आज तो बस 10।
10 लॉट लिया। और कितने में लिया?
सर एट 354।
17,500 का।
नो सर 17,800।
अच्छा, तो इन द मनी हो गया।
हाँ इन द मनी है सर।
अच्छा, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड, धन्यवाद। अच्छा पैसा मिलेगा, 10 लाख रुपया आ जाएगा। राहुल मान बोलिए।
सर गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन। मैंने सर अभी 3 o'clock मैंने मेरा कॉल स्क्वायर किया था, एंड अभी जो है मैं पुट के साथ कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया है, बट टारगेट मेरे ज़्यादा नहीं है। टारगेट आई थिंक 16,800 एंड 17,000 का बेस है, जहाँ से मार्केट आई थिंक रिबाउंड कर सकता है। तो मैंने वहाँ से 10 स्लॉट अभी कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया है पुट का, तो नेक्स्ट वीक या फिर अदर देन नेक्स्ट वीक शायद मेरा
राहुल जी, आपका कोई
टारगेट।
क्वेश्चन है क्या शरद
हाँ
सर से?
सर।
Any specific questions to be asked to Sharad sir?
सॉरी सर।
Any specific questions to be asked to any of the speakers or the Sharad sir? Because individual
स्पेशल
positions तो सबकी
सर।
अगर डिस्कस करने जाएंगे तो 1,000 आदमी है यहाँ पर। If we are going to discuss all the positions, it will be very tough for everyone.
ओके ओके राइट सर राइट सर।
नहीं, वो कुछ बोलना है तो बोलिए। आपने पुट ले लिया, अच्छा किया। आप 10 लॉट ले लिया, अच्छा किया। भगवान आपको बहुत पैसा देवे, लंबा पैसा देवे। और
बट
कुछ?
सर आई थिंक 16,800 के जब टारगेट आ जाएंगे तब आई थिंक कॉल शुड प्रेफर करनी चाहिए या फिर नहीं करनी चाहिए।
नहीं,
That's
मेरे
my
पास
thought.
नहीं, मैं बोलता हूँ आपको।
हाँ
मैं
सर।
मैं आपको एक एस्ट्रोलॉजर का नंबर देता हूँ, आप उससे कंसल्ट कर लेना, अच्छा जवाब देगा वो।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
शरद भाई,
हम्म
एक सवाल है, व्हाट इज योर व्यू ऑन टारगेट्स? टारगेट ये है, आपकी क्या सोच है? एंड इफ एनीबॉडी एल्स वांट टू ऐड ऑन टू दिस टॉपिक, स्टार्टिंग विथ यू।
For me, there are no targets. It's evolving. Every day it evolves. There is no, matlab, I'm not that great or qualified to see in the future what will be the target. एक छोटा सा ह्यूमन बींग है, इधर रहता है, खाना पीना मस्त खाता है, बस। काय का टारगेट? अपने को क्या मालूम क्या टारगेट होएगा यार। क्या एक बार हम सोचे थे 250 में बेचा शेयर, मैं बोला साला 200 हो जाए तो चांदी हो जाए, तो 3 दिन में 50 रुपया 40 रुपया हो गया, क्या कर गया? तो टारगेट मेरा किधर गया? तो इट्स पॉइंटलेस एंड यूजलेस टारगेट्स। दैट्स माय
एग्जैक्टली, दैट्स
ओपिनियन।
माय फैंटास्टिक, सेम हियर। बिकॉज मैं अक्सर देखता हूँ कि लोग रिस्क नहीं बोलते हैं, पहले टारगेट बोलते हैं। अब डज द मार्केट ओव यू मनी व्हेन यू सेल टारगेट? एट द एंड ऑफ द डे किसी को ये नहीं पता है कि बाजार कहाँ जाएगा. Whether it is Warren Buffett, whether the late RJ, Ray Dalio or Paul Tudor Jones, you may have a view, you may stick to your view. I come across, अभी परसों मेरी किससे बात हो रही थी, 1:2 की बात करता है, and eventually it went up to 1:9. I think that is one of the reason why you have about 98% lose money in trading. और अगर टारगेट में भी एक दूसरी बात ये नोटिस की जाती है, अगर आप 50% टाइम सही जाते हो, मतलब फर्ज करिए किसी ने 10 ट्रेड लिए. नाउ दिस इज एन ओपन क्वेश्चन, एनीबडी कैन आंसर. If you take 10 trades, you go right in 5, you go wrong in 5. You say I made at the rate of 1:1. Have you made money at the end of the day? Any of the listener can answer this question.
If I were to answer, I would make tons and tons of money here.
अरे आपकी बात अलग है यार. You are not allowed. ये चीटिंग हो गई. मार्केट विजार्ड को नहीं अलाउड है ये क्वेश्चन.
Sir, Vishal bhai okay na? Vishal bhai is a big trader, pro trader.
Yeah, he does trade well. Yeah, Vishal.
अरे समर भाई क्यों गाली दे रहे हो यार? छोटा मोटा ट्रेड करते हैं, दाल रोटी खा लेते हैं, बस हो गया सर. Just to
You're very bad throat.
हाँ सर, हाँ. Just to answer Kirit bhai's question, 1:1 you will never make money. You will always be a losing trader, sir.
रीजन बताओ क्यों?
अरे खर्चा एक्सचेंज का कौन पप्पा के भरेगा?
There you nailed. बल्कि 1:1.2 में भी नहीं बनता है. Even if you have a 55% winning system.
तो अभी जाने दो सर, अभी वो किस किस को समझाने का नहीं समझ आते हैं लोगों को.
नहीं विशाल भाई, चीज क्या है कि मैं अक्सर ट्वीट देखता हूँ, टारगेट 25, एंट्री पॉइंट 20, स्टॉप लॉस 14. 6 रुपए का रिस्क 5 रुपए कमाने को.
अरे वो 5 रुपए में भी 2 रुपए के अंदर माल लाओ और कहानी खत्म, प्रॉफिट बुक एग्जिट.
और जबकि स्टैटिस्टिकली रिकॉर्ड ये प्रूव करता है, इवन इफ यू आर अ गुड ट्रेडर, 40-45% कैन बी योर विनिंग रेशियो ओवर मल्टीपल नंबर ऑफ ट्रेड. बट वही नहीं है. बट स्टिल यू सी कंटिन्यूइंग. इनफैक्ट आई माई सेल्फ सीन, आई जैसे मैंने पहले बताया, मेंटर्ड 150 पीपल ग्लोबली. एक चीज मैंने यही देखी है कि रिस्क किसी को जानना नहीं है. ऑप्टिमिज्म लेके बाजार में आते थे, गुड मॉर्निंग मैसेज डालते हैं ना हम. अरे बाजार किसी से कुछ लेना देना नहीं. आज अगर लास्ट में 300 पॉइंट दिया है, कल 200 पॉइंट ऊपर भी हो सकता है. अभी मेरे को किसी ने somebody मैसेज में डाउ ऊपर है, तो मैं होने दे ऊपर, उससे क्या फर्क गिरने वाला. तो पॉइंट हियर इज यू हैव टू सी कि घर नेट काट के घर पे कितना पैसा आता है, तभी सस्टेन कर पाएंगे, वरना नहीं कर पाएंगे.
चलिए अभी अनंत भाई को लेते हैं.
बिल्कुल
सर. शरद सर
मैं अभी आया. आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन. लेट मी टॉक आफ्टर सम.
रुको अनंत, 1 मिनट रुको. हाँ विशाल
सर, वो ट्रेंडोनॉमिक्स का मैसेज आ रहा है. शरद सर को रिक्वेस्ट करो मेरे को स्पीकर पे लेने. यू वांट्स टू स्पीक समथिंग.
नहीं नॉट अलाउड.
ओके
आनंद भाई.
मैं अभी आया भाई साहब. आई जस्ट लॉग्ड इन, सो लेट मी हियर अ लिटिल. आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन.
लोग आनंद.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
डोंट एक्ट लाइक अ डिक, ओके. तेरे को खाली चार्ट का बोलने का है ना. बोलना क्या लगता है, तेजी लगता है, मंदी लगता है, क्या लगता है, कितना दिन में कितना नीचा जाएगा, बोलो ना.
मंदी तो लगता है. आज लो के पास क्लोज हुआ, आउटसाइड बार है. ऑलरेडी ट्वीट कर चुका हूँ, कल नीचे खुलेगा, खुलते ठोक देना, जाएगा नीचे. देयर इज नो स्ट्रेंथ इन दिस मार्केट. एब्सोल्युटली नो रीजन व्हाई इट शुड गो अप. एंड परफेक्ट एंगल से निकला है, तो इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू स्टॉप हियर. इट आराम से 1000 पॉइंट निकाल देगा.
यार नॉनसेंस बात करता है। 1000 पॉइंट के लिए दे मंदी करेगा क्या? पागल है क्या? साला 1000 पॉइंट तो लेने बेचने में निकल जाता है मेरा।
भाई 14,200 का मेरा टारगेट तो है ही ना, वो किधर चेंज किया? वो 14,200 तो लगाएगा।
नहीं नहीं
इमीडिएट आप पूछ रहे हो तो 1000 पॉइंट,
नहीं, आप
14
बोला
to
1000
1
पॉइंट, आप बोला
1000
1000
पॉइंट
पॉइंट।
नेक्स्ट
1000
वीक 1000
पॉइंट तो खाली लेवेज में निकल जाता है मेरा।
यार इधर 2 रुपए में ट्रेड करने की बात हो रही है, आप किधर लिमिट की बात कर रहे हो?
देखो, प्रॉब्लम इज everybody is looking for 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 30 rupees. मेरे को
करेक्ट,
नहीं चाहिए, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, मेरे को बड़ा बड़ा
बराबर
मांगता है।
बराबर है, करेक्ट, आई अग्री। इवन आई, मैं भी तो बड़ा ही देखता हूँ। ये छोटा मोटा ट्रेड तो मेरे कभी समझ में नहीं आता है, डे ट्रेड। पर मार्केट का जो अभी सिनारियो है, इफ यू लुक एट व्हाट विल हैपन नेक्स्ट वीक, 1001 पॉइंट आराम से निकाल देगा। बट अल्टीमेट टारगेट 14,200 जो पिछले 12 महीने से चिल्ला रहा हो, वही है अल्टीमेट टारगेट। 14,200 जब 14,200 आएगा तब देखते हैं। नया है कि बात ही मत करो।
नहीं नहीं, और ठीक है, आई डिसएग्री विथ यू, 12,000 होएगा।
हो सकता है, तो 14 तक तो हम दोनों साथ में ही है ना भाई साहब। 14
हाँ,
के
बाद
बाद में
में
हम भी आपके साथ आ जाएंगे।
नहीं 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 नहीं, 14 तक साथ में है,
हाँ,
बाद में मेले में बिखर जाएंगे।
हाय 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 हाय, हाथ पकड़ के रखेंगे आप भाई हो मेरे। अपने पास निरूपा रॉय नहीं है।
चलो, अब पिंटू नंदी बोलो, पिंटू भाई बोलो।
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग शरद सर, गुड इवनिंग समर जी, और सबको मेरा गुड इवनिंग और प्रणाम। सर अगर इजाजत है तो मार्केट के ऊपर मैं 3 सीरियस पॉइंट बताना चाहता हूँ, अगर आप इजाजत दीजिएगा तो।
नहीं तो आप बोलना चाहते कि हम लोग सीरियस थे क्या?
नहीं 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 नहीं, मैं आप लोग बहुत ही सीरियस डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, मैं जस्ट कुछ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ मेरा
हाँ तो ऐसा बोलिए
व्यू।
ना, आप क्यों हमको। हाँ बोलिए बोलिए।
नहीं नहीं सरस सर, आप इतने एक्सपीरियंस, आपके आगे मैं एक बहुत ही छोटा ट्रेडर हूँ, कुछ दिनों से मतलब कुछ सालों से ट्रेड कर रहा हूँ मैं। सर पहला पॉइंट जो आप बता रहा हूँ एक मनी फ्लो के ऊपर, देखिए पिछले 7-8 महीना से ये सबको पता है, एफआईआई करीब 2 लाख करोड़ का माल बेच के निकल गया और सिर्फ 20-25 हजार का माल खरीद के ऊपर में 3,000 पॉइंट का रैली करवा दिया, पहला पॉइंट। दूसरा पॉइंट जो एक टेक्निकल पॉइंट, बहुत सीरियस पॉइंट, अगर निफ्टी का चार्ट आप देखिएगा तो उसमें 18,114 से जो 15,183 का डाउनफॉल हुआ, उसमें 61.8% रिट्रेसमेंट लेवल 17,300 को काटा गया और डाउन ट्रेंड लाइन को भी काट के ऊपर 200 पॉइंट भगाया गया निफ्टी को। पर यही आप अगर माने सेंसेक्स इन डॉलर टर्म्स, दैट मींस डॉलेक्स 30 में देखिएगा, जो ऊपर में 68-17 का टॉप था और नीचे 53-35 का बॉटम था, उसका बिल्कुल 61.8% रिट्रेसमेंट लेवल, गोल्डन रिट्रेसमेंट लेवल से ही टॉप बना के रिट्रेस करवाया जा रहा है। ये दूसरा टेक्निकल पॉइंट। और तीसरा एक डेटा पॉइंट मैं बता रहा हूं, जो कि स्टॉक फ्यूचर डेटा, जो बहुत सारे लोग नहीं देखता है, इंडेक्स फ्यूचर को देखता है। एफआईआई का स्टॉक फ्यूचर डेटा अगर आप देखिएगा तो ये प्री कोविड लेवल पे जब बाजार 2020 जनवरी में गिरा था, उस वक्त भी ये लोग 5 लाख प्लस नेट लॉन्ग लेके खड़ा था। उस वक्त बाजार 5,000 पॉइंट नीचे गिरा था, उसके बाद ये लोग बाजार को ऊपर लेके आया। वो यूएस के मानी छापने के वजह से या किस वजह से मेरे को पता नहीं, पर बाजार ऊपर लेके आया 5 लाख नेट लॉन्ग लेके। पर अगर आप सिर्फ 1 महीना पहले चला जाइएगा 25 जुलाई को, आप देखिएगा उन लोगों को 5 लाख के आसपास ही नेट लॉन्ग था स्टॉक फ्यूचर में। पर ये 28 जुलाई को इन्होंने जो 1 लाख नेट लॉन्ग हटा दिया, उसके बाद 28 जुलाई से आज 25 अगस्त के अंदर 50,000 और हटाया और सिर्फ आज के डेट में 1 लाख लॉन्ग और हटाया। मतलब 5 लाख लॉन्ग से 2.5 लाख लॉन्ग में अभी खड़ा है ये लोग स्टॉक फ्यूचर में। मेरे को ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। पहले तो कैश का माल हटा दिया, अभी फिलहाल ये स्टॉक फ्यूचर को भी हटा रहा है, आधा कर दिया लॉन्ग को। तो मैं सिर्फ यही 3 पॉइंट रखना चाहता था सर जी, मैंने रख लिया। अभी सर आप सोचिए ये क्या बुलिशनेस का सिग्नल है या क्या दूसरा कुछ और है, बियरिशनेस का सिग्नल है।
पिंटू भाई, आपने जो बोला ना स्टॉक फ्यूचर्स का कि 2.5 लाख अभी रह गया है, दिस पॉइंट इज वेरी वैलिड and whatever discussion we had, we missed out this one, and thanks a lot for pointing out this.
It's my pleasure, sir.
No, yes, it's really important, and you have drawn all our attention to this. Thanks a lot. Yeah,
थैंक यू
Idi.
सर जी, थैंक यू
Thank you.
सर जी। आप हटा दीजिए, हमें स्पीकर से हटा दीजिए।
हाँ जी। Idi, Srini.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Sharad sir. Good evening, everyone. Pintu ji का बहुत valuable input था. So Sharad sir, I have the opposite question. Are we okay for a non-serious point? So today I've realized the biggest risk in the market. जो किसी प्रो ट्रेडर, आप इतने सारे यहाँ seriously experienced traders, आपने हम नए बच्चों को नहीं बताया. The biggest risk in the market, it turns out, is me. So we are headed down. So it is going to be how we manage, and all these down markets will have these random days up down. हमको नहीं है skill इतना stock futures etc. to decode them in real time. So I think the biggest risk is how we manage our own mood volatility. We are headed down some थोड़ा broad numbers. In case this crash is going to be because of the bulls, because they have been eating bullshit all along. All the bears have sold. So it's the bulls who are holding on with some bullshit logic. Supreme Court has opened this discussion. It came on in the news now, and it's on Twitter, that document, with the Indian government, and maybe the government provoked it through back channels. कि जो 80 crore Indians are officially on the food program, which means they're like economically so distressed, that be enhanced by 10 crore. So अगर 90 crore Indians are calculated to be so economically stressed now, and this number has risen in less than a year. So the problem, coming back to the market, is that the bulls have been in false hope that the economy is rising and so on. So when this downslide happens, I believe it's going to be because the bulls will give in, because they will realize हम तो ऐसे ही पता नहीं क्या माल फूक रहे थे. The other quick one is we didn't see the earlier FII selling. This time we will get that $2 billion day, because there's tons they haven't sold. And when we get this market, and there are a lot of data being exchanged now, HIT cannot handle even one $2 billion day. The shining knights who come to rescue are also in exit mode. So balance advantage funds now need to rebalance. Secondly, एक महीना पुराना article on EPFO. So EPFO has said, unlike last year where they would raise cash balance for payouts, a lot more people are exiting. मतलब band बज गई है तो PF access कर रहे हैं 6 महीने के बाद. If you don't have a job, you can liquidate your PF. So they are instead of liquidating in Jan, Feb, March, they are going to liquidate anytime August to March. So August has already begun. So in the EPFO, if they see falling prices, may decide, oh, let's sell some before it falls further. So we are set up for for a nasty slide, and biggest risk is me. कि can I manage the choppiness? और एक दिन ऊपर गया तो मैंने मतलब panic किया वो सब. Down, down, down. Probably I think 800 points a week for 6 weeks at an average is how I'm estimating it.
Srinivasan, you made a statement that the bulls themselves will bring on the bear market or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Strictly, the market functions in the same way, that the bulls only bring the bear market, and the bears only bring in the bull market. It's an old saying, it's real. So unless now, how I will earn? Only if you make a mistake. On my own, I am not capable enough of taking the money out of you. So if you do a mistake, then only I learn. And if I make a mistake, you will learn. But in a bear like situation, very few people lose money. And the bulls lose the maximum in bear markets. And in bull markets, the bears hardly lose any money because I would say the percentage of bears in this market would be 4% or 5%, and 95% are bulls. So any game, the bulls only have to lose money. That's given. ओ बेर में ठीक है, लग गया, मेरा घर में इतना माल पड़ा है तो थोड़ा चला गया, बट बुल का तो माल ही माल है. So what you're saying makes sense, lot of sense. And about how true is this 10 crore people more?
I'll retweet it, sir. I'll look for that tweet and I'll share it.
No, I'm just asking. I don't need a proof or something of that sort.
No, it's true. As in, is it true that they are economically distressed? I think so. I've been the signs of distress are huge.
So all this while that you were talking of that number 5 crore and 20 crore, it almost adds up like 90 crores is this, rest is 40 crores. उसमें से भी इधर उधर शर्म के मारे नहीं जाता होगा. तो कंज्यूमिंग पॉपुलेशन तो है ही नहीं अपने वहाँ.
Sir. We are consuming like the sort of stock market population, so to speak, is now is shrunk. Maybe it's 10 crore, who. And Udar, so again, if someone's a good stock picker, this is a game. So like Bata seems to be doing well. Because abhi upper middle class bhi thoda keh raha, "Acha, Bata is good enough. Or maybe five-star hotels will do better." So stock pickers will always do well if they stick to their fundas. But this macro, everything is going to boom and all. I don't buy into. And I think by the time budget comes, log ye bhi calendar bhul gaye hain, sir. We will have the budget maths and all very soon, maybe in November, maybe in December, because the budget gets tabled in Feb. So there the maths on our deficit and agar टैक्स पेयर ही नहीं है, अगर तनख्वाह नहीं बढ़ रही है तो और टैक्स कैसे बढ़ाएंगे? All those questions will come up very soon, and I've noticed the market moves before average people think about things. Tough है sir. I maintain, and I've got trolled a bit and all, but it's the truth. And stock market, bhav bhagwan se, I accept that. That I may say a stock is bad or a company is bad. Its stock can triple. Yeah, okay. But consumer distress is not bhav bhagwan se. Consumer is in distress. Nobody in this industry will disagree whether FMCG, auto, durables, and वो बोल भी रहे हैं. अभी I can't even accuse them of not saying it. लोग सुनना नहीं चाहते because price action is very high. I mean, things look to be good because stock prices seem to be high. But that will change, sir. Truth will catch up.
Srini, how's auto sector?
अरे सर क्या मतलब बैंड बजा है. July was not good. Mid-range, sort of what was originally the Maruti segment, Santro, I mean the Hyundai guys also do well, have continuously lost volume and value share. Fact Finder's also here. He pointed out Maruti is now down to 30% value share. तो इंडिया जैसा कंट्री में mass segment is not the biggest part of the market. It shows we are over penetrated. And I've said this in a marketing sense. We are over penetrated on most categories now. So numbers have to shrink. We have too many fridges out there. So now only replenishment will sell. Too many cars. तो लोग वो consuming class से बाहर गिर रहे हैं. So it's a stressful time for people.
Yeah, fair point.
Hi everybody, how are you guys?
Yeah, good.
So, thing with this, it's I just quickly say some of the things that I've learned the last couple of days. One is, as you know, I mean, let's separate two things. Okay, passenger cars have not sold for 5 years. There's a pent-up demand, and people don't realize, but 70% of car sales happen to a person who's either already got a car, or who and upgrading, or who's buying a second car. So only 30% of the sales of cars in India, when I say cars, I say passenger vehicles, happen to people who are buying, who actually entering or buying a new car for the first time. So just keep that number in mind. So I think car sales will continue to do well because people haven't bought for 5 years. Two-wheeler sales, people don't buy to upgrade. They buy as commuters, right? Or they buy as students buy vehicles, right? So that segment depends upon, that's the poorer segment of people. And that's not doing well. That's not been doing well for 10 years now. There will obviously be some recovery, but I'm just saying it's not going to be easy. The best, in my view, indication of stress is to look at mobile handset sales in India, and that is down another 15-16% in this quarter. So that is also not positive. So that's one of the few things. One interesting thing that I learned today, I was actually not learned, I was analyzing it, and a lot of people were talking about how credit card spent in India is doing really well. I was thinking about it, and I was looking at each of these companies, and I don't think any analyst has actually pointed this out. I mean, when I say analyst, I'm talking about institutional analysts have pointed this out. But I don't know how many of you recall, about 12 to 15 months ago, a lot of credit card companies, they started saying you can start paying your rent on credit cards. You can start paying your maintenance, school fees on credit cards. You can start maintaining your society maintenance on credit cards. Like guys like Magic Bricks, all these guys started signing up with ICICI Bank, Kotak. IndusInd Bank was the first. Rento Mode. I mean, there's something called Red Giraffe. I don't know how many of you use it. I've been using it for a while. So I get points, using HDFC Infinia, and I get a lot of points to pay my rent, right? So because of this, right, your credit card spend looks amazing. Yes, there is obviously a pickup because people are traveling. But when people are looking at growth, people are forgetting that earlier, 15, 18 months ago, people were not paying rent on credit cards. People were not paying the society maintenance of credit cards. People are not paying, school fees on credit cards. Now, a lot of schools are allowing schools to be paid. In fact, I have paid NPS contribution using credit cards. I forgot to mention that. And I just got a message a few days ago saying they're stopping NPS contribution on credit cards. So I'm just saying that people are not looking at this clearly because they don't, that data is not available. So that's something that I learned today. I thought it was very, very interesting. I mean, this is my analysis. I don't know if you find it anywhere. If somebody has a view to share, I'll be happy to listen to it. Then the other thing is obviously, if I look at the other data point that's happening is obviously China. There's been a lot of stimulus that's been announced in China. In my view, it won't work. Simply, I mean, just look at the stock market in China, right? It continues to go down. The sentiment in China is really bad. Okay. And that's not going to stop anytime soon. So the government can keep easing. It doesn't matter. You can't put a gun to a person and say, buy a house. Period. 65% of people's wealth in China is in housing. They're not seeing house appreciation in prices. They're seeing decline. So you can't go and tell them to buy more houses. Period. China's an aging economy. So lesser number of people are buying houses. Keep that in mind. Third thing, so that's on China. Then obviously, US announced a stimulus on student loans. So if I put, and then I think Europe, they announced about $260 billion worth of stimulus for, energy because of high electricity price. So if you actually look at the global context, you have three things. You have student loans, you have China putting stimulus, and you have Europe saying, we'll give you checks. And in that context, you actually have this entire Fed policy. And then you had one of the Fed governors who said yesterday that we need to stress that, while obviously all of this is happening, the market is easing. So if you look at the interesting thing is, if you go a step back 5-6 months ago or 4-5 months ago, the Fed started hiking up rates, right? And when the Fed started hiking up rates, if you look at the market conditions, so financial conditions index, the Citibank Financial Conditions Index, it's actually back to the same levels today before they started the hiking process. So one of the Fed guys said, you can't have a situation